Good morning, this is Pamela Bluewater with J&S Biblical Productions. Today we are presenting and discussing the story of Jesus healing a sick man who doesn't seem to be deserving and who is ungrateful. An invalid at the pool of Bethesda, which translates as the house of mercy. We have a church theologian with us today, Mary Beth Violet, to comment on the significance of the incident. But first, let's see the event itself as told in the Gospel of John, chapter 5, verses 1 through 15.
Now there is in Jerusalem, near the sheep gate, a pool, which in Aramaic is called Bethesda, and which is surrounded by 5 covered colonnades. Here a great number of disabled people used to lie, the blind, the lame, the paralyzed. One who was there had been an invalid for 38 years. When Jesus saw him lying there and learned that he had been in this condition for a long time, he asked him,
"Do you want to get well?"
"Sir, I have no one to help me into the pool when the water is stirred. While I am trying to get in, someone else goes ahead of me."
"Get up, pick up your mat and walk."
At once the man was cured. He picked up his mat and walked. The day on which this took place was a Sabbath.
It is Sabbath. The law forbids you carry your mat.
The man who made me well said to me, "Pick up your mat and walk."
Who is this fellow who told you to pick it up and walk?
I don't know who the heck he was.
Find him.
The man who was healed had no idea who it was, for Jesus had slipped away into the crowd that was there.
See? You are well again. Stop sinning, or something worse may happen to you.
The man went away and told the Jewish leaders that it was Jesus who made him well.
Who was that guy? Where did he come from?
I don't know.
All right, thanks for being here, Mary Beth.
Thank you.
All right, so you may ask, why did Jesus heal this particular man and why not all the others? Why did he ask him, "Do you want to get well?" Why didn't Jesus ask him about his faith in God? Why didn't the invalid show appreciation or thanks for being healed? Why did he betray Jesus to the Jewish Sabbath police by telling the Jewish leaders at the end that it was Jesus who made him well? And finally, if the man was so undeserving and ungrateful, why was this story told in the first place? So, Mary Beth, what do you have to say to try to answer these questions?
Well, first of all, Ms. Bluewater, thank you so much for having me back.
Yes.
I'll take the importance of the story first. Why tell it at all? Jesus is carrying out what his Father would do, heal the best and the worst of people. Everyone deserves to get better, no matter what their station in life is. This man, he'd reached the bottom. Nothing had worked for him yet. He was at the end of his rope. It was God who directed Jesus to heal his son. Verse 19. Let me read that for you. Truly, truly, I say to you, the Son can do nothing of his own accord, but only what he sees the Father doing. For whatever the Father does, the Son does likewise.
Yes, well, that's what the gospel says. Now, please answer my first question. Why this particular man?
I think he is the most typical, old, at the end of trying, hopeless, and as you said, ungrateful and undeserving of Jesus. There are so many people in the world like this, millions. That's why Jesus helps the sinners at the bottom of society. And there are many stories where the Jewish leaders point out he surrounds himself with sinners.
But why did Jesus ask him, "Do you want to get well?" Isn't that a silly question? Isn't the answer yes?
No, That isn't why he asked. He just wanted to see his character and his faith revealed. The wretched man didn't even answer the question, but complained. In verse 7, he didn't ask for God's help or show faith, a very common characteristic of many on earth. No faith, no belief that God or Jesus would help him.
Yes, that's true. He complained, never heard of Jesus, so why did Jesus heal him?
As I said before, that's what God would do.
And no appreciation shown, not even a thank you even?
Look at the world. Do you see many people who are appreciative of what God or Jesus has done for them? There are so many, but not everyone.
Well, Mary Beth, to make it worse, the ungrateful man told the Sabbath police, the Jewish leaders, that it was Jesus who healed him at the pool.
Yes, but Jesus said the most important line, a theme that repeats itself throughout the Bible in verse 14. Stop sinning, or something worse may happen to you. That reminds us of Lot's wife turning into a pillar of salt for not wanting to leave Sodom and Gomorrah.
So then I conclude that this line is the most important message because sinning can not always cause sickness or illness, right? This is Pamela Bluewater for J&S Biblical Productions saying to our viewers, verse 13, stop sinning or something worse may happen to you. Good morning.
What are your thoughts on today's story? We'd like to know. So, leave a comment and subscribe to our channel, J&S Authentic Biblical Productions. Whether it's the Word of God through parables, true stories illustrating parables, or true stories in the life of Jesus Christ with commentary, you can see them all by subscribing to the most comprehensive collection of videos of biblical stories for you and your family. Have a blessed day.